Before the chains, he was a king, a chief on the West African coast, broad-shouldered and feared. They say no man alive could match his strength. His word was law, his people loyal, his shore his own. Then a strange ship appeared on the horizon. The traders came smiling with gifts and open hands. They showed him silk and gold and a glittering pocket watch. "Come aboard," they said, "and see the wonders we carry." He stepped onto their deck, curious and unguarded. The hold doors slammed shut behind him. The chief woke in darkness, in iron chains. A king, stacked among the cargo, sold like grain. But one sailor aboard had taken a liking to him. He slipped the chief extra food, water, and quiet words. Then the sky turned the color of a bruise. A hurricane swallowed the ship off the Florida reefs. Timbers cracked, the sea poured in, men screamed. In the chaos, the sailor unlocked his chains. Together they seized a single small boat. They loaded it with muskets, powder, and food. The great ship broke apart and slipped under the waves. When dawn came, only 2 men were left alive. They washed ashore in the Florida Keys, free, and the chief swore he would never wear chains again. Soon the 2 of them learned a cruel, clever trick. They would drift in their little boat, waving for help. "Castaways," they cried, "please take us aboard." When the rescuers leaned close, the guns came out. Ship after ship was robbed, stripped, and sunk. The chief took a new name now, Caesar. Black Caesar, the frightened sailors began to whisper. He built a hidden kingdom deep in the mangroves. Elliott Key, Caesar Creek, names that still carry his. He drove a great iron ring into a rock by the water. Through it, he ran ropes to lean over and hide his ships. When the patrols came hunting, he vanished into the inlets. Legend says he buried a fortune in gold on that key. In 300 years, no one has ever found it. He ruled a camp of captives and stolen women. For a time, he was a law unto himself. But 2 kings cannot share a single throne. He and the loyal sailor quarreled, over a woman, they say. The friendship that survived a hurricane did not survive jealousy. The partnership shattered, and Caesar sailed on alone. Then he heard of a man with a burning beard, Edward Teach. The world would call him Blackbeard. Caesar left the Keys and joined his crew. He climbed aboard the Queen Anne's Revenge. 40 guns, a black flag, a captain who feared nothing. Caesar rose to become one of Blackbeard's most trusted men. Together, they made the whole coast tremble. But the law was finally closing in. In November 1718, the trap was set. Lieutenant Robert Maynard found them anchored at Ocracoke. 2 sloops slid through the dawn mist toward the pirates. Blackbeard knew there might be no escape this time, so he gave Caesar a single, terrible order. "Go below," he said, "and stand by the powder. If we are taken, light it, and send us all down together." Caesar took a slow-burning match and waited in the dark. Above him the cannons roared and the decks ran red. Maynard hid his men below, then sprang the ambush. Blackbeard fell at last, cut down after a savage fight. Below deck, Caesar heard the screams and reached for the powder. He lowered his glowing match toward the open barrels. One spark, and the ship and every soul aboard would vanish. But 2 captives lunged and seized his arms. They wrestled him to the floor before the flame could touch. Blackbeard's ship did not explode, and Black Caesar was hauled into the light, in chains again. They carried him to Virginia to stand trial. The man who escaped slavery and the sea now faced the gallows. Some say he was hanged that year in Williamsburg. Others swear he slipped the noose and lived past 70. The records are thin, but the legend is enormous. His treasure, they say, still waits beneath Elliott Key. A chief, a captive, a pirate who almost escaped them all. The sea took his ship, but it never took his name. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up and hit the subscribe button.